Paso police officer was shot twice in the back.
He's resurrecting old stuff simply to get public hatred towards me, so he could take over the jail.
I believe those were some harsh words. I don't have any harsh words for him.
The man responsible for the Doña Ana County Detention Facility accuses the sheriff of trying to take over his jail and slander. Our New Mexico mobile newsroom with the sheriff's response. We'll tell you which Republican has virtually eliminated Donald Trump's lead in the polls in a key state. And in Houston, investigators still don't know why a man walked up to a deputy and shot him point blank.
It's nice out there right now. We'll check on current conditions and talk about rain chances for the rest of your work week in stormtrack weather.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC-7 at 9 on the El Paso Las Cruces CW.
Hello everyone, this is ABC-7 at 9 on the CW. I'm Ashley Rodriguez. Tonight we're learning more about the man shot and killed by El Paso police in April. ABC-7's I-Team got a hold of the autopsy report. The shooting happened April 29th at a home on the 300 block of Jesuit Drive. Police were investigating a burglary there. 22-year-old Eric Salas Sanchez was shot twice in the back and once in the buttock. He later died at Del Sol Medical Center. Salas Sanchez was a Mexican citizen living legally in the U.S., and the Mexican consulate is assisting his family with legal services. The night of the shooting, police say Salas Sanchez allegedly threatened to kill the officers with a metal object. Police say he charged at them, and that's when they unsuccessfully tried to tase him. An officer shot and killed the man. Salas Sanchez lived on Jesuit Drive. Police also told ABC-7 Salas was not shot inside the home. He was suspected of burglarizing. The Mexican consulate tells ABC-7 it will be keeping a close eye on the investigation.
It is something that will be decided by the district attorney. They will review the whole investigation, as far as I understand, including, of course, the autopsy. But then they will decide if this is a case that needs to be followed up with a grand jury or not.
A toxicology report also shows Salas Sanchez had traces of marijuana residue and an antidepressant in his system. The DA's office hopes to have a report ready by next year. It is standard procedure for it to look into any deadly shooting involving a police officer. An angry response to a subpoena is there more than meets the eye. ABC-7's newsroom in New Mexico was at the Doña Ana County Government Center today, where the Doña Ana County Jail Administrator had some harsh words for the sheriff. Jail Administrator Chris Barella says he's fed up with the sheriff's office. He tells us they're slandering his name in subpoenas issued to the county's legal department 2 weeks ago. Barella reacted by showing us a memo from one of his officers. It follows a conversation between Sheriff Kiki Vigil and that employee. Vigil allegedly says he's planning to take over the jail in 2 years. We asked Sheriff Vigil about that conversation, and the sheriff told us he's not sure what Barella's talking about.
He has an agenda. He has a plan. Fine, you want to take over the jail, Kiki? Okay. But do it like a man with integrity. Go to the commission. Let them know you want the jail. Let them know you think you can run it better than I. Don't go and resurrect things that have already been investigated and are done, have been put away, and just to dirty my name so that you can create public hatred towards me.
You know, this is an ongoing investigation. It's been referred to a white-collar crime unit, and the district attorney is on board on this. You know, if Chris Barella thinks that I'm trying to slander his name, you know, he's incorrect.
The subpoenas mention Barella in connection to the missing gym equipment at the county jail. Barella says the issues being investigated were looked into years ago and no wrongdoing was ever found. An embattled school district superintendent in Albuquerque has stepped down. He's the one who hired this man, Jason Martinez, as one of his deputies. The district never completed its background check. Turns out, Martinez is charged in Colorado with felony sexual assault on a child. We learned today the case involves 2 children. Today we learned Luis Valentino, a Bowie High graduate, resigned as superintendent of Albuquerque Public Schools. The district agreed to pay him $80,000 within 10 days. It will also keep him and his family on the district's health insurance plan until October 31st. As we told you last Friday, the scandalous hiring in Albuquerque has the Las Cruces Public School District taking a look at its hiring process. We learned the district requires all employees, licensed or not, to undergo a background check. This means all administrators, teachers, custodians, and receptionists must go through the process. There are a handful of LCPS employees hired before 1998. They were grandfathered in and are not required to get the background check. The district says, considering what happened in Albuquerque, it could take a closer look at these employees. All right, let's go ahead and send to stormtrack weather now. Nicole Gomez has your first forecast. And Nicole.
Hi there, Ashley. Let's take a look at Doppler radar. It's a fairly nice night out there, and as you can see on our radar system here, most of the storm activity is towards our northwest. Pretty quiet here in El Paso and Las Cruces along the higher elevations, and out to our southeast as well. Now notice on our future track model here, our rainfall model through Tuesday afternoon, this is showing most of the rainfall, again, still out to our west along the Sacramento Mountains, and a little bit of green showing up on this model here in El Paso and Las Cruces. But our current temperatures right now, we're at 87 degrees, 83 Las Cruces, 77 TRC, and 72 is the current temperature out in Silver City. So as you can see, it is nice and comfortable out there. Outside of the studio on the west side of town, we're at 89 degrees, Cielo Vista Elementary School 85. On the east side at Mountainwood High School, 88 is the current temperature. So it was a pleasant day today, and we're actually tracking cooler temperatures in the forecast. We'll talk about that cool down, and the rain chances will also go up. Details in your full forecast. Ashley?
All right, Nicole. Investigators in Harris County say they still have no motive in a deadly shooting they can only describe as, quote, cowardly and cold-blooded. The silence was haunting today when Shannon Miles walked into a Houston courtroom. You could only hear the sound of the shackles around his ankles and waist as several dozen sheriff's deputies stared down the man accused of killing their fellow deputy. Investigators say Deputy Darren Goforth was filling up his unit at a gas station. He never saw Miles walk up behind him. Miles allegedly shot him 15 times.
He runs up behind Deputy Goforth and puts a gun to the back of his head and shoots. Deputy Goforth hits the ground, and then he continues to unload his gun, shooting repeatedly into the back of Deputy Goforth.
This rhetoric has gotten out of control. We've heard Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. Well, cops' lives matter too. So why don't we just drop the qualifier and just say lives matter and take that to the bank?
Strong words there. Prosecutors say Miles emptied all the rounds from his .40 caliber handgun before walking to his truck and driving away. Deputy Goforth was found dead in a pool of his own blood. Donald Trump, back in the news, always in the news, is no longer alone at the top of the GOP presidential field in the key caucus state of Iowa. That's according to a new poll. The Monmouth University poll has Trump, and guess who? Retired neurosurgeon Ben Carson tied for first in Iowa with 23% support. Both are substantially ahead of the rest of the Republican field. Ex-Hewlett-Packard CEO Carly Fiorina stands third at 10%. Donald Trump, known for his controversial comments, is now the focus of a small town just 50 miles from the Colorado River. It's not something the presidential hopeful said. Rather, it's a mural of the Republican as a dragon slayer.
I mean, all these wonderful government agencies that take our tax money to control us, we the people. It used to be land of the free or home of the brave. It's not so much anymore.
That was the painter who commissioned and painted the mural. The dragon represents Marxists, Muslims, and the media. Trump is the knight in shining armor. Residents in Grand Junction, Colorado, have mixed reactions, as you can.
I don't think it's just black and white as far as you can say this group goes with this group. If he had several different dragons, then that might be a little bit different.
I don't think it's offensive at all. It might not be politically correct, but he's got some good points, but he's also a bit of a blowhard.
Mozzie's mural is on private land. He says it will stay up until the end of the presidential election. Tomorrow morning, the eyes of the nation will be on a Kentucky official who has refused to issue same-sex marriage licenses. Today, the Supreme Court ruled against Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis. Davis will now have to choose whether to issue marriage licenses defying her Christian faith or continue to refuse them, defying a federal judge who could pummel her with fines or have her thrown in jail. Matt Staver, an attorney representing Davis, issued this statement today, quote, "She's going to have to think and pray about her decision overnight. She certainly understands the consequences either way," end quote. Dozens of same-sex couples turned away by Davis in the past 2 months plan to meet her outside the courthouse tomorrow morning. An El Paso technical school is now offering a unique and very exciting program.
And there's no place else in the world that has a class like this.
No, none at all. We're the only location in the world that offers this type of training.
Up ahead, how auto technicians looking to get into the big leagues of drag racing can get one foot in the door. And in case you missed last night's Video Music Awards, we'll tell you why Nicki Minaj called out the host, Miley Cyrus.
The rain chances will go up. I'll let you know if it will affect your work week or your weekend coming up in StormTrack weather.
This is ABC 7 at 9 on the CW, where you don't just watch the news, you're part of the story.